So my name is John von Hagen. I am completing unit ACMGAS206. My student number is SSJPAUNPSM. Just with this unit, I cannot unfortunately complete it at the clinic purely because there's a busy clinic and we just don't have the time to complete this. So I am doing it at home. I am by myself just because I don't have any other volunteers, but I will role play that there are other people here with me. So this is scenario 1. Which is that I'm walking down the hallway of the vet practice where I'm working and I come across people shouting in the waiting room. One man is cradling a Cocker Spaniel pup, the other man has taken a cattle dog to a corner in the room. The man with the Cocker Spaniel pup explains that the cattle dog has picked the pup up and shook the pup aggressively. The cattle dog's teeth have pierced the pup and blood is coming out of its stomach where he has been bitten by the larger dog. So as I go into this scenario, I will obviously assess the danger that's involved. Walking in and having been explained what it is by the man holding the puppy, I can obviously tell that it's the cattle dog that attacked the smaller dog. Thankfully, that has been removed to one side, but just to ensure everyone's safety, we'll pop that dog into a consult room just so he's out of the way and can't cause any other harm. So either myself or another work person there will do that for me. Taking the puppy from the owner, I will take him back to our assessment area just so he is not in front of the owner, where he will be assessed. So looking at him, he does have some puncture wounds towards his stomach, which is the main cause of concern. Obviously that can affect his breathing, so we will observe that. We can see he is breathing, although it is slightly shallow, so we do need to monitor that. Oxygen levels will also need to be taken because it might have punctured the lungs. So the first thing would be to try and slow down the breathing, so applying pressure onto the puncture wounds, obviously being careful not to put too much pressure onto that upper chest cavity, just with the lungs and everything like that. Just because I am not fully qualified to stitch or fully assess things like that, I will then call a vet or a senior vet nurse to come over and help me with that situation. So this is scenario 2. Again, I will just be by myself because I am alone, as mentioned before. But the scenario is as follows. It is 4:30 p.m. and your shift has just ended. Other staff in the clinic are completing the last of their enclosure checks and inspections. As you are walking to your car, you hear the neighbour from the property next door calling out. The neighbour is shouting and pointing to a kitten that has fallen into a pond. The pond has steep sides and is surrounded by bush rocks. You see a rake leaning up against a nearby garden shed. The kitten is submerged in the pond and does not appear to be breathing. Going into the situation, again, we've just got to be cautious of all the dangers that are present. The first thing also with trying to help the animal is also keeping yourself safe. In this situation, there is steep sides surrounding the pond, so I do have to be cautious of falling in and causing harm to myself. Because there is a rake leaning up against the garden shed, I will use that to assist me in getting the kitten out. If it is too steep or there is danger of me falling, I will ask the neighbour for help. And if, again, that's too dangerous, I will try and go back to the clinic, get someone to help me. But obviously time is a pressing matter on this one. Once I've gotten the kitten out of the water, and here we have a very big kitten, I will do a quick survey to see if there are any visible injuries and then go straight back to the clinic where we will assess the breathing and airways of the kitten. If he is not breathing, compressions will start as we will also give him oxygen. But throughout this whole process, we'll be monitoring its heart rate and O2 levels just so that we know what's actually going on. If we are able to revive the kitten, we will then dry him off and warm him up slowly because he has been in that water for an unknown amount of time. I'll just quickly demonstrate the correct way for CPR to be performed on the little kitten. So being placed on his side and then with your thumb and your forefinger placed behind its front legs, and then you compress down 1/3 of the way at a rate of 30 compressions to 2 breaths, trying to keep within 100 in a minute.